Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to hell and back.
The unit I have here is the Vivo X300s. Now, that S in the name basically tells you it's an upgraded version of the standard Vivo X300. But if you compare it to the Pro model, I still feel like the Pro sits on a higher level in terms of overall hardware performance. That positioning is actually important to understand. Think of the X300s more like a preview or a warm-up before the Vivo X300 Ultra arrives. You'll even notice some similarities in the software features between this and the Ultra. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. When it comes to design, the X300 is almost identical to the regular X300. The main difference is this stunning new color option. The one I'm using is called Film Green, and it looks seriously good. It has this patchwork style finish where one section gives off a slightly grayish green with a metallic shine, while the other part is a softer, more vibrant green. It's not overly bright though. It has that trendy, understated dopamine green vibe that feels modern and clean without being too loud. Under the hood, you're getting the Dimensity 9500 processor. We've already seen this chip perform in the X300 Pro, and honestly, Vivo's optimization here is top tier. The experience is super smooth and there's really not much more to say. It just works flawlessly. Battery life is another strong point. You're looking at a massive 7100 milliamp hour battery, and after running about 2 hours of moderate testing, the battery only dropped to 93%. That's seriously impressive. On the front, there's a 6.78-inch display with a 144 Hz refresh rate. This might actually be the first time the X series is using such a high refresh rate. It also uses Q10 Plus luminescent material, which significantly improves power efficiency compared to the previous generation. You also get AT LTPO backplane technology and ultrasonic 3D fingerprint unlocking, which has basically become standard for Vivo. Overall, the display performs well and the screen-to-body ratio also looks solid. No complaints here. Another highlight is the vibration motor. The X300s comes with the custom 7514 motor, which is currently the largest in the X series. The tuning is excellent, whether you're gaming or just typing. It feels very refined and responsive. Now let's talk about the cameras, starting with the hardware. The main camera features a 200 megapixel sensor, specifically Samsung's HPB. This is actually the same 200 megapixel telephoto sensor used in the Vivo X300 Pro, so it's something many of you might already be familiar with. The lens system, tuned with blueprint optics, is really well optimized. You get a 1.4-inch sensor size with an f1.68 aperture. The telephoto uses the LYT 602 sensor, and the ultra-wide uses the JN1. I won't go too deep into specs, but all three lenses have been heavily tuned under the blueprint imaging system, so on paper, it's already very strong. Moving on to the software side, the camera interface has been redesigned. It now looks cleaner and more professional. One thing I really like is how the color styles are handled now. Before, the options felt limited and a bit messy, but now everything is organized into one place, and there are 9 additional styles available. Both the main and secondary film presets have been recalibrated, and you also get new styles like cool white, rich, and chasing light. On top of that, there are options like black and white, texture, primary color, and vivid. Personally, when I'm shooting products, I always go with primary color, but the rest can be adjusted depending on the situation. Overall, the color tuning, tonal balance, and lighting performance all feel improved compared to before. There's also a color palette tool that many of you will recognize. It opens up a lot of creative possibilities and is very intuitive to use. You can easily tweak your images to match the exact color style you prefer. Most of the other controls are now placed in the lower half of the interface, accessible through a sliding bar, while the top section includes quick options like switching to macro mode or enabling dual speaker shooting. Compared to the previous layout, everything just feels simpler and more user-friendly. And finally, the street photography mode, which was already quite popular, now comes with 3 additional humanistic tones that I personally really like. These include street photography, portrait photography, and everyday life photography, giving you even more flexibility depending on what you're shooting. Looking at the photos I captured using the humanistic mode, I've ended up relying on these three styles quite a lot. The images have a very natural, camera-like vibe, and that typical digital look is almost completely gone. There's even a subtle grain added, similar to what you'd see in film simulations. Overall, the shooting experience now feels more emotional and expressive than before. You know that feeling when a photo just clicks instantly? That's what I'm talking about. Thanks to software optimization, that overly digital look has been pushed way down. What you get instead is something that focuses more on visual impact and that first instinctive impression of a great shot. This is clearly the direction the whole industry is heading, but Vivo has taken it a step further and really refined it. At the same time, they're not forcing you into one style. You can stick with the humanistic mode or switch to other modes like I usually do. It's completely up to you. Also, the previously available vivid, texture, and primary color styles have all been reworked. And I've got to say, the primary color mode now feels much closer to what you'd expect from an actual camera. It's easily one of my favorites. Then there's the chasing light mode, which I think works especially well for portraits. Honestly, if I had more models around, I'd probably be using that mode even more. Now that we've covered the color styles, let's talk about the camera kit that comes with the X300s this time, because it's quite different from before. Starting with the case, the inside has this suede-like lining so it won't scratch the back of your phone. The outer material feels like a soft silicone, almost like a high-tech version of rice paper. It gives off a really nice, camera-like, tactile feel. Overall, this case is a big improvement compared to previous versions. You also get a lanyard in the box, which you can attach and carry the phone around your neck. Honestly, it makes the whole experience more fun, almost like carrying an actual camera. The telephoto lens attachment has also been redesigned. The 200mm lens I have now is noticeably smaller than the previous generation. The design is cleaner and more minimal, and the Zeiss branding gives it that classic silver look you'd expect. It feels very premium and well built. Even the lens cover has been improved. The inside uses a silicone material, so when you remove it, the resistance feels smooth and controlled. Vivo even includes an extra set in the box, which is a nice touch. Installation is simple. Just twist it on and you're good to go. It's lighter, more compact, and overall much easier to use. Compared to the older version, which felt bulkier and added quite a bit of weight, this new G2 setup is clearly designed to be lighter and more refined. Now, looking at some sample shots, using the default 200mm focal length, the results are very similar, if not identical to what we've seen before. The good thing is that you can now also use this lens in humanistic and portrait modes, even at super telephoto ranges. From my experience, once you go beyond 800mm, you start to notice a bit of a washed out look. But at around 500mm, the image quality is still excellent. Another thing I noticed, and I'm not sure if Vivo specifically optimized this, is that the shutter response and snapshot performance feel much faster than before. It's something you'll probably notice right away when you try it yourself. Seeing these ultra-level features appear on the Vivo X300s is honestly pretty exciting, because usually that level of camera capability is reserved for the top-tier models. But even without the Ultra branding, this phone is already packed with high-end hardware. The overall configuration is basically maxed out, and when it comes to the camera, it should easily satisfy around 90% of users. You can pretty much shoot anything you want with this device. And that wraps up my thoughts on the Vivo X300s. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. The Ultra version is already on the way, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you in the next video.